Hello everybody, welcome back to the Wrestling Multiverse YouTube channel. It is me, Josh Snyder, and I am here for the second ever pay-per-view review slash podcast. Tonight we're reviewing TNA Bound for Glory 2006 from the CompuWare Sports Arena in Detroit, Michigan. 3,500 people in attendance. By the way, it's just in case you think, if I sound partially in and out of it, it is hot as hell in where I'm recording this, so kind of give me a break for that. But we kick off the show with the Kevin Nash Open Invitational X Division Gauntlet Battle Royal. God dang, that's a mouthful. It is pretty much a Battle Royal elimination over the top rope, but you enter kind of like a rumble, just one at a time. Eliminations over the top rope, but the final two have a match where they win by pinfall or submission. The first two entrants are Sanjay Dutt and Austin Starr, aka Austin Aries, and I totally keep forgetting about this version of Austin Aries, where he kind of started off at TNA as this flamboyant Hollywood gimmick. He's just got weird glasses and all that, and about making a star-making performance, but it's so weird. He only kept this for a couple weeks. Then I'm pretty sure he got, like, him and TNA parted ways until he came back later on and became the huge star we know him as. But it's so bizarre to see Austin Aries in this kind of way. It's really weird. As what's going on, Kevin Nash says he is one of the greatest high flyers of all time. And I laughed really hard when he said that, because we all know that's not true, but it's hilarious. And nothing beats, though, I think Mike Tenay when saying that, because Kevin says that and he just goes, "What?" He's so confused, so taken back that Nash said that. Entry number 3 is Maverick Matt, who I've not heard have much here. Number 4, Jay Lethal. Number 5 is A1, who gets a "You Can't Wrestle" chant. I thought that's pretty harsh on the guy. Like, he's not exactly a master, but he definitely doesn't deserve a "You Can't Wrestle" chant. I don't know if anyone that's in this thing does, really. Number 6 is Zach Gowen, which just completely threw me off. I totally did not expect that. Number 7 is Kazarian, and as before next entrance, Sanjay Dutt gets eliminated, so Sidella is number 8. Sidella ends up hitting a side slam on Kazarian. Star hits a low blow and A1 eliminates her, so yes, Sidella was a chick. Curb muscle chick, kind of, I guess, just trying to be like the teenage version of China. I'm gonna guess what was her role. I don't know much about her, but if I ever hit a side slam on Kazarian now, she looks really good. Kazarian and Matt 1 eliminate A1. I just realized, right, on my notes, I spelled Kazarian as Zakarian. So, you know, that's how it goes. Shark Boy is number 9. Alex Shelley, number 10. And then D-Ray 3000 is number 11, who I've never heard of him. Never heard of him. Didn't know. There's not a lot of people here I don't know. So, excuse me if I don't know much about them. I haven't watched much TNA around this time. Maverick Matt is eliminated by Shark Boy and D-Ray. Johnny Devine is number 12, and Devine eliminates Zach Gowen. Primetime Eli Skipper is number 13. Skipper leaps to the top rope just to hit a moonsault and is beautiful as hell. Kazarian is eliminated at this point, or Kazarian, if you go by my notes. Short Steve Sampson is number 14, and I was so caught off guard by this. By his name, to be honest. Shark Boy is eliminated off screen. Norman Smiley, which for some reason just put a smile on my face. I guess that's his job, so there you go. Norman Smiley is number 15. Shelley eliminates Samson, and then Eli Skipper is eliminated, and Norman Smiley is eliminated in really short fashion. Like, really quickly, those 3 eliminations happen. Petey Williams is number 16. William hits a couple Canadian Destroyers before being eliminated by Alex Shelley. He's in there really quick. Shelley is eliminated by Jay Lethal. Divine is eliminated by Austin Starr, and we are down to 2. Final 2 are Jay Lethal and Austin Starr. Austin Starr hits a brainbuster to Lethal to pin and win. Kevin Nash comes in to congratulate Starr and that. Alex Shelley's very angry at this because I guess Shelley was kind of Nash's project to the point, and now he's worried his spot might be taken. Don't worry, Shelley, you're gonna be fine, as Lethal will be gone in like really shortly. Match rate out of 10, I give it 7 out of 10. It's a really good showcase for some guys, especially for ones I don't know, but what I've saw of them, I've really liked. They show a replay of Hernandez border tossing Gail Kim, and holy shit, that looked brutal. Bang on for Gail Kim for taking that. Dang, that is insane when you watch it. Shane Douglas is out here for a promo. He introduces the Naturals to the ring for their second match, which is a 4-way tag team match as the Naturals versus James Gang, which is pretty much Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, which is what I'm going to refer to them as, pretty much. Versus America's Most Wanted versus Team 3D. For those who don't watch much TNA, America's Most Wanted, James Storm and Chris Harris were named very known team. I'm pretty sure probably the most known TNA team. In here, I guess you have Team 3D, which is pretty much the Dudley Boys, but I would say America's Most Wanted known TNA-wise. Tower of Doom spot between the Naturals and America's Most Wanted. Everyone has their moment where they hit their finisher. The Naturals hit Naturals Disaster on Devon, but he kicks out. I apologize for this. But Team 3D hit 3D to win the match. I give it match rating out of 10. I give it 5 out of 10. You might think that's a very little amount of notes, but really that was just all. It was kind of not the greatest thing at like 4-way I've seen. I've definitely seen better. But in the end, it was, it was there and it was done good. It got Team 3D a victory, so guess you can't really complain about that. Jake Roberts does an interview, and I have no clue what he says. I literally can't hear him. I don't know if it's like there's audio problem, but then it's also Jake Roberts at this time, and I'm not sure exactly if he's in the best place to be doing interviews, but which goes into our next match as Abyss takes on Raven. Takes on Brother Runt, aka Spike Dudley, versus Samoa Joe in a Monsters Ball match with Jake Roberts as guest referee. I have no clue. Even the promo package itself does not really specify how this specifically tells, is a better way to put it, than whatever the heck I just said, specifically tells how this match came about. It's just Joe, because the whole thing is Joe takes the TNA World Title up until literally I think the week before this, and then this match is just happening. I don't know how this became a thing, to be honest. Samoa Joe is currently undefeated at this point, though. The 3-man gang up on Joe to start the match. Abyss throws Runt into the crowd, but the crowd catches him and throws him back at ringside, and he also face plants on the apron, which made me laugh my ass off. Abyss throws run in the crowd. They catch him thrown by ringside. I already said that, so I kind of had a moment where I zoned out there. Jove dies on all three men. Spike Dudley, which is one, I'm not gonna call him Brother Runt, because I also think that's a really terrible name, by the way. That is a really terrible name to give a guy. But, Spike Dudley and Abyss climb up the set, and Abyss choke slams him off, then jumps off it and elbow drops Spike Dudley. Holy crap, what the hell did Spike Dudley do to deserve that? That is so brutal looking. But then again, that was always Spike Dudley's thing. He just took insane spots. Abyss goes for the pin, but Raven pulls Abyss off. Joe snap slams Abyss onto a chair and gets a 2 count. Abyss and Jake Roberts have a standoff, and part of me kind of wish something more happened between them two. Not gonna lie. Raven confronts Jake, and Abyss takes them both out. Joe sentons Abyss face first into tacks. Because, of course, yeah, with Abyss there, you gotta thumbtacks. And, of course, Abyss is always gonna be the one taking them. And takes him face first. That had to hurt, man. Why the hell would someone take that? Why would someone take that? Jake Roberts DDTs Raven. And Joe falls up with a muscle belt to win the match and remain undefeated. Match rating out of 10, I give it 7 out of 10. It is a fun, chaotic match. It is brutal in every way. And it is just a fun match to have on one of your main shows. Next matchup is Eric Young versus Larry Zbyszko in a loser leaves match. Is that the story? Pretty much Larry, they were, I'm trying to think. I think it was Jim Cornette, who I'm pretty sure is the commissioner at this point. Yeah, he is. Like commissioner or GM, whatever you want to call it. Made a loser leaves, or made pretty much loser gets fired, multi-person match. Larry Zbyszko caused Eric Young to be the one to get pinned. And as a result of that, Cornette has made this match where loser is permanently fired. A lot of stalling to start the match. That was the one thing I didn't like. The match pretty much is just, most of the match is just them stalling and playing in a crowd, which I get you need to do, but it goes on way too long. Way too long. The ref ends up getting taken down. Larry goes for the legal object, but Eric gets a low blow. Hits him with the illegal item to win. I get a 2 out of 10. It's a really nothing match. It's a very, Larry Zbyszko probably couldn't do anything at this time anyway, so I get that. Just wasn't into it. I didn't really dig it, so, 2 out of 10 is what it gets from me. Jim Cornette comes out to announce that, by the way, he can barely speak. Can Jim Cornette? He can barely speak, barely able to talk. God dang, I don't know why they brought him out for this show, to be honest. This not even a dick, I don't know why he would have done that. But he comes out to announce that Joe interferes in the world title match. He will be fired. And, but Kurt Angle ends up interrupting them. To think also, Kurt Angle debuted the week before this show. I always thought Kurt debuted at this show. I don't know why, but I always thought he did. But no, apparently he debuts the week before, and that's when the whole thing between him and Joe starts, which they continue here. Because Kurt Angle cuts a Pro TNA promo, but he then mentioned Joe. Immediately, Joe comes out, and they get in a pull-apart brawl. They also confirmed Kurt Angle will be the enforcer for the main event match between Jeff Jarrett and Sting, but man, I always forgot how short before the show Kurt Angle debuted. The next match is for the X Division title as Senshi, or Low Key, takes on Chris Sabin. I was very excited for this match because I knew these two could put on a hell of a match, as they will prove to do. You'll see by the end of this when I give you my rating. They start off feeling each other out, but then Sabin dropkicks Senshi's knee. Senshi then responds with a brutal kick to the back of the head. Senshi goes for something, but Sabin stops him with a springboard dropkick. Sabin then hits a springboard DDT, but Senshi kicks out. Sabin goes for a hurricane, but Senshi rolls to a double stomp for a 2 count. Sabin hits a big kick in the corner and hits Cradle Sock, but Senshi somehow kicks out of this match. Senshi hits Warrior's Way, but Sabin gets his foot on the rope somehow. Senshi goes for a submission, but Sabin catches him with a rope to win the X Division title. Match rating out of 10, I give it 7 out of 10. Holy crap. What a match for the X Division title. Again, just prove it again why X Division is so good in TNA. One of the best guys you'll find for the X Division in TNA around this time. They were changing the way of people, like, mid-card titles were defended around this time, and it's insane to think about. I'm messing with Christian Cage here for an interview about Rhino. Cage calls Rhino a dirtbag and says he will embarrass him in his hometown, as we go to our next matchup, which is Christian Cage versus Rhino in an 8-mile street fight. They start on the outside, end up fighting on a Zamboni, which I don't know why, I just cheered when I saw Zamboni. Rhino drives it into the arena and Cage falls off of it. I think when they get in the arena. Rhino hits Christian with a light part of the set. Rhino goes for the goal, but Christian hits him in the head with a chair. Rhino ends up busted open. Cage goes for a shot with a ladder. Rhino drop throws him into the ladder. Rhino then misses a splash onto the ladder. Cage then hits the Unpretty, but Rhino kicks out. Cage then locks Rhino in a straitjacket. Cage starts talking trash, and Rhino headbutts Cage, and the ref helps him get out of the straitjacket. Rhino pile drives Cage off the apron through a table. Rhino goes for a pin, but Cage gets his foot on the rope. Rhino goes to gore Cage through a table, but he misses. Cage hits a second Unpretty, but Rhino kicks out again. Cage puts a bunch of stuff on top of Rhino and hits a massive concerto to win the match. I give it a match rating of 9 out of 10. It's, again, another fun, brutal matchup. So just another brutal match between these guys. My favorite match on the show. It's just because how brutal, and they tell a story of just friends betraying. Chris, after Cage betrays Rhino, it's a heck of a story. But for Cage to get the win in his hometown, even in TNA, people in their hometowns don't win. It's just the way it is. Next match is LAX versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels in a 6-sided steel match for the NWA Tag Team titles. I was kind of miffed at these guys being in 6-sided steel, because I thought this would be a match that didn't need that. I thought these guys could just have a good tag match on their own. I don't know if they've had multiple tag matches before, and it's like the end of the rivalry or something. But to me, it just didn't seem like they did, because I seem they felt a bit hampered. And you'll see what I mean at the end of when I go through all my notes and that. AJ dives at Homicide to start, but ends up in the cage instead. Conan gives Homicide a fork and ends up busting open Daniels. AJ Styles and Daniels get the fork and bust LAX open too. There's a Tower of Doom spot. AJ Styles dives off the top of the cage onto Hernandez. Hernandez is on top of the cage. Dives, but AJ moves out of the way. Daniels is then choked out by a coat hanger that Conan is holding. I'm pretty sure I heard this name right. I'm not. It's called a Ringo Killer or the Vertebraker to AJ Styles to win the tag titles for LAX. And there's a post-match beatdown afterwards. Match rating out of 10, I give it 6 out of 10. To me, just a hell. Well, it's a hell of a tag. It's a hell of a 6-sided steel match, right? I just feel it didn't need. It's just I feel the guys didn't need the 6-sided steel. To be honest, I would have gave the 6-sided steel maybe to Rhino and Cage. I feel they could have used them more. But then again, I don't know. It's maybe because I haven't watched TNA. Maybe this is like the end of a rivalry and they could have used it. I'm probably just been missing something here. So and now it's time for a main event as Sting and Jeff takes on Jeff Jarrett with Kurt Angle's outside enforcer. It is the NWA heavyweight title versus Sting's career. They feel each other out, but Jarrett gets the advantage on Sting on every lockup, kind of playing the Sting have ring rust, because it's the first time we've seen Sting in a couple of months. So Sting hits Jarrett with a running powerbomb. Jarrett gets back in control, gets in Kurt's face, but Kurt doesn't back down. Jarrett tries to use a chair on Sting, but Kurt takes the chair. Sting tries to use the chair, but Kurt stops him. Then Jarrett accidentally takes out Kurt. Okay. Both guys are down. Ref goes to count them both out down, but Kurt enters the ring and Angle slams the referee. Kurt then makes himself the official. Sting hits the Stinger splash and death drop, but Jarrett somehow kicks out. Jarrett then gets control, hits the stroke, but Sting somehow kicks out of that. Jarrett puts Sting in the figure 4 leg lock, but there's a rope break. Jarrett then puts Sting in the ankle lock, but Sting rolls through and Jeff goes to the outside. Jeff hits Sting with the guitar, but Sting no-sells it and puts Jeff in the Scorpion Deathlock to win the match and become NWA World Champion. I give the match 8 out of 10. You would think out of the scenario that it would not be a good match in Jeff Jarrett and Sting, but somehow they put on a good match here. Good main event. Good way to end the show was Sting getting the NWA heavyweight title, keeping his career going. One hell of a show. That's the best way to say it. One hell of a show. I'd give the entire show 6 out of 10. In my opinion, there's some not a single match on the show is particularly bad. There's some like stipulations I would have gave the other people, but besides that, really good show. Absolutely a heck of a show. Definitely recommend it. If you have any suggestions on pay-per-views I should review, please put them in the comments below. Please like, please subscribe, please share this channel to the world so everyone can join the wrestling multiverse. The next pay-per-view I will be reviewing on this channel is WrestleMania 17. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you soon.